Hello, guys. Welcome to today's and this week's lesson in vocabulary. This week, we're going to talk about school subjects. Remember, last week we saw types of schools and we talked about elementary, high school, college, university. Well, this week we're going to see the type of topics or what do they study in these schools. But mainly, we're going to talk about all of the school subjects that you find in high school. The majority of the ones that we're going to discuss, you can only find them in high school. So let's begin. The first subject that we have is math. Math are basic numbers, right? We know addition, subtraction, multiply, division. Well, a perfect example of a math teacher for you guys will be Teacher Patty. She's your math teacher. Or also Teacher Emar. He's also a math teacher. Then we have the word English. English is a school subject because it's a language. In this case, for us, Spanish would be our language because we are in a Spanish country. But since we're talking about high school in the United States, English is their language. So they have to study all of what is English, like grammar, how to write, paragraphs, etc. Then we have history and geography. What is the difference between history and geography? It's easy. History talks about the events or things that happen around the world. A good way to explain history will be for us in Spanish is social studies. So history is about wars, about how Cristobal Colón came, all of that is done to the story of how the world was conquered, or about all these famous persons that were involved during the history period. And geography studies the place, the countries, if it's in north, in south, in east, in west, their type of money, the culture, or the type of people. Geography studies mostly territories. So that's the difference between them. Then we have government. Government in the United States is actually a school subject in high school because in this subject, they teach you about politics. They teach you about the system of politics. They teach you about the way that is organized, the government, all of the government institutions, the pledge of the flag, everything that has to do with how the country is ruled or who takes care of the country. Then we have science. As you know, science is the same here in Guatemala and in the United States. We talk about living things or non-living things. We do experiments, like what we learn in science these days. It's not different. Then we have biology and chemistry. Biology is the study of all the living things, but in this case, the living things of humans, right? Like their head, the bones, the tissue, cells, anything that has to do with the body or all the organs. Then you have chemistry. Chemistry is a way of mixing substance, and it's in order to apply certain formulas so you can see if something it has iron, if it has nickel, if fire, oxygen. Chemistry is mostly done with a mix of science. It's like a mix of math and science together. Then we have physics. A perfect example of physics was Albert Einstein, like you can see in the picture. And this school subject, physics, talks about gravity. They make theories on why if I throw something up in the air, it's gonna fall down and back to the ground. Physics is trying to give or studies a way to give explanations to certain things that we cannot really understand. It studies gravity, anything that has to do with a scientific way, and of course, you have to use numbers on it too. Then they have another subject that is called health. Health is a subject strictly to teach students how to eat properly, what should they do if they are not consuming enough calories, or what is good for their body. It's more like a nutrition type of subject, but they all have it in high school. It's mandatory for them to have it. Then we have computer science. Computer science will be a perfect example of being a programmer. And I think you were learning that with teacher Pancho. He was teaching you how to do some programs or how to program your computer. Well, that is actually computer science, because you mix technology, in this case computer, and you mix also science to give a certain analysis of things. So you can have an analysis of DNA. You can actually explore animal cells using your computer, grabbing data, etc. So it's really useful. Then they have something as Spanish. Here in Guatemala, our second, or in this case, third language is English. Our first language is Spanish because we live in a Spanish country. But in the United States, their other language or option for them to study is Spanish because they don't know it. And Spanish is actually the third, I think, language mostly spoke around the world. So they give you the option over there for you to study Spanish. Or you also have the option of studying French. But they must pick one, either French or Spanish. But students have to pick one of the languages to study. Then we have home economics. Home economics is actually really interesting because what they teach you in this subject is how to do things that you would normally learn in your house. For example, they teach you how to cook. They teach you how to sit properly in a table, how to wash dishes, how to wash your clothes, how to make a bed. They teach you really things that are from home, things that you should learn at home, but it's actually a school subject. And you get to learn all of these things that you would normally not know, for example, in your house. So they actually have a school subject for that in high school. Then we have industrial arts. Industrial arts is a way to teach students how to create things. Look at the image where the kid is holding like a wood made part of a guitar. Industrial arts helps you learn how to build things. So maybe you want to build a house for a bird, or maybe you want to build or mold pottery. Look at the second image of industrial arts. They're molding like a sculpture. So they teach you how to do things that are practical for your hands, or things that you can actually do, and then maybe one day you will need it and you will know how to do it. So it gives you like that ability to learn how to construct certain things. Then they also have business education. Business education is another subject. In this case, they teach you how to take care of your money or how to start a business. If, for example, you're not planning to go to the university or college, these subjects like industrial arts or business education can actually help you learn certain techniques that when you apply to a job, you can easily be hired. But business education takes care or teaches you how to take care of your money. It teaches you that you have to pay taxes. It teaches you to organize what you're going to buy, set priorities. It helps you learn how to save money. So it's actually a school subject in high school for you to learn how to take care of your money. Then we have physical education. Physical education is actually the formal name of PE. The common name for physical education is PE, which represents the word. And as we know it, PE will be what you have in school by teacher Luis. Luis Sosa, he teaches you PE, right? Everything about sports, how to take care of your health. And normally PE is done in elementary, not really in high school, because in high school, the majority of teenagers in high school choose a sport. So they either go running, doing track, or they want to join the soccer team or the football team or the swim team, golf team. There's like a lot of physical activities that you can do. So it's not really more like a physical education, it's more like a sport in high school. But in elementary, like you guys are, it's called PE. Another fun subject that you may like, because I really like that, is that they have driver's ed. Driver's ed stands for driver's education. When you are in high school in the United States, almost when you're going to graduate, they give you this school subject which helps you learn how to drive a car. And this is actually done in the school. You can have driving classes. They teach you how to drive a real car. And if you pass the exam, you get a permission slip that permits you to drive a car when you're 15 or 16, which is really cool because in school, if you pass the exam, you'll be able to drive your car out of school or around your neighborhood. So it's actually really cool that they have this school subject in high school. And last but not least, we have art. As we know it, an art teacher that we have in school will be teacher Eduardo, for example. He gives us art. And then we have music, which we also have another teacher that we have that gives us music, teacher Ernesto. So these are the same, right? They are the same for high school and for elementary. They are like extracurricular activities. Now, guys, this is a list of the words that we are learning this week. There you can see it, there are 20 words. I hope that the video gives you a clear example of what words we're talking about. If you have any questions, please write to me either in Class Dojo or if you have me in WhatsApp. I think your parents have me there. You can ask me for questions. And remember to please do your activities and take a picture and send them to me. Please, guys, do the activities on the date and send them to me. I miss you and I hope you're doing fine. We'll keep in touch.